Alright, it was good. Um, um, alright, it was good. I'm on my post breakfast walk just to get some steps in. I just wanted to talk about my experience of aggressive cutting. Yes, I've done aggressive cutting many times. Yeah, because I failed, I've dirty bulked, and yeah, I was just like, you know what? I'ma just boom. I'ma just shred that fat off. I don't want to be fat anymore, and I wanted to get rid of it quick. And yeah, quick. Long story short, I don't really think aggressive cutting was a good idea for me. Now, yes, I did get results quick because it was aggressive cutting, but I think that I failed in a way that didn't really do any good for me physically and especially mentally. Now, there's many, I think, there's many things that I think I did wrong with the aggressive cutting, and then that's where the mental part of it kind of took over. And I just wanted to talk about that. Basically, I went on a crash diet. Okay, I've aggressive cutted twice in my life. All right, and the second time, I got a lot of results, but I got quick results, but physically and mentally it didn't end well, or how I wanted it to end. So first of all, the first bad thing about the aggressive cut is that my physique, I did get lean. All right, I did get lean. I did get my abs. My face got much leaner. I think I got to that maybe 8 to 10% body fat from like 25-ish in like 2 months. Right now, this wasn't a typical aggressive cut where you go 1,000 calorie deficit, all of that. No, I was definitely more than 1,000 calorie deficit. I was basically starving myself. I was doing like 3-4 hours of cardio on the incline treadmill, plus like 20,000 steps a day, all of that. And I was only eating I wasn't eating even 1,000 calories, and I was tracking everything. I basically just had one meal a day, and that was, so sometimes I would have over 1,000 calories. But yeah, so number one, I just did excessive amounts of cardio, and I was to the point where I was like, you know what? Let's forget about all the muscle mass that we built before the cut. Let's just forget about all of that. And you know what? We're just gonna do cardio. So I didn't even train. I didn't even lift weights. it came to the point where I was like, you know what, I just want to get rid of this body fat, and I think that was not a great idea. Because at the end of the cut, yeah, I did lose a ton of muscle mass, and it's not even funny. Now, that could be due to me as well. I did not eat any carbs. That's another one. I did not eat any carbs, and my fat was insanely low. So I would just basically eat protein. I would only eat chicken breast and broccoli for my one meal a day, which is crazy. But I just remember like after cardio and I had that meal, ooh, it was good. It was really good. But yeah, so that's a huge mistake now. So basically, yeah, that's just like the physical mistakes that I made, which I think wasn't that too much big of a deal. I think what hit me the most was the mental part of it that kind of affected me. And it just made me realize, like, damn, I messed myself up, right? So number one, with the mental stuff was like, all I could think about was like food and my physique and everything. Like, you know, I was so strict to myself that even like, you know, when, you know, the family and everyone, you know, tries to go out, I would like find a way to be like, no. Like if I go out this one day, all my progress and everything, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna go back to being fat. I'm gonna overeat the next day and the next. If I get off track this one day, it's gonna ruin my whole progress. And I would overthink that and overthink that. So I would like find a way to like say no or not go to that certain event. Like I was so strict to myself, and now that I look back at it, it was like, damn, I should have went, and you know that one day could have kind of saved me, you know, as like a, you know, diet break, even just one day of like a refeed day or something like that. But no, I was so strict to myself. I was like, no. I told myself I was gonna do this, but yeah, I think that really affected me. Just being too strict to myself, and you know, not allowing myself to enjoy, you know, these social events, and just really ruining my social life in that way. And I think another one too was like body dysmorphia, right? I think I really developed that by, you know, going to the gym and stuff. You know, that fitness things is a lifestyle, and I think it kind of took over me to the point where I was like, if I don't get this lean, I'm not happy with myself. And yeah, I don't know, it just came to the point where I was kind of like breaking down in the last couple of weeks, you know. I was like, I kind of look back to myself and I'm like, what am I doing to myself? I was basically starving myself, and I just wanted it quick, you know, the fat loss and all of that. And you know, the more you go into that cut, it's like, it's not enough. I can keep on going, you know. And then it's just like, it's never ending. And yeah, so it came to that point. I was like kind of breaking down mentally, really. I was like, what am I doing to myself? And then, you know, you kind of get that feeling of like, I want to stop, but I can't allow myself to stop. I'm not lean enough. I'm not shredded enough. I don't. My abs aren't popping out as much as I wanted to, and all of that stuff is just, you know, it's like I can't stop. I gotta go another day without eating or something like that, and I really ruined my mental health with that as well. And brain fog and like work and all of that. Like I really ruined myself. I couldn't focus. I had brain fog. I was exhausted all the time. I couldn't function properly. So that's the main thing that I kind of messed myself up with. It was more of the mental side of it, really. But yeah, I mean, I eventually, started eating a little bit more and all of that, just because, well, school was starting. I'm a university student, but school was starting, and I was like, I cannot go to school like this, right, in this mental state. And I was just like, you know what, fine, we might have to eat a little bit more. And I kind of found that as an excuse to, like eat a little bit more, introduce more food, and let's just like kind of end the cut. I'm not sure what would have happened if school wasn't there, because I probably wouldn't have found an excuse to end the cut, and I don't know what I would be doing right now. So I mean, I'm kind of glad that school as an excuse kind of saved me from maybe continuing the cut to the point where I'm in the hospital or something like that. I kind of feel like I had a eating disorder, which is not good, but it kind of felt like that to me in a way, really. But yeah, I've ended the cut. I'm kind of trying to find my maintenance now. I'm going back to the gym, we're eating a little bit more. We're recovering, we're getting stronger in the gym as well and all of that. So yeah, that was my aggressive cutting experience. This was my second time. I could talk a little bit about my first time, but yeah, I think that's just my second time. This is my first time doing this type of video, but I just wanted to share my experience. And if anyone out there just wants to know how crash dieting or aggressive cutting or whatever can do to you. But yeah, I wouldn't really call it aggressive cutting, just because my approach was not the typical aggressive cutting approach at all, nowhere close. But yeah, you learn from your mistakes and all of that. My first aggressive cut as well, I kind of messed it up as well. Too, but I can talk about that in another video. But thank you for listening. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'ma answer, don't worry. But yeah, I'd appreciate it, man. See you and goodbye.